All right. I'm very happy to participate in the announcement of the Paul Harris Fellow Recognition Awards being given out tonight. We have a lot of guests here, so I'm going to explain a little bit about Paul Harris and the Foundation, the Rotary Foundation, and these Paul Harris Fellow Awards. Paul Harris was one of the 4 original founders of Rotary in Chicago. He was a Cubs fan. In 1905, no, that was before the Cubs actually, when Rotary started, and he and 3 other fellows met every week, and they rotated different offices or houses where they met, and that's why they call it the Rotary Club. That's how it started. So the Rotary Club does have a foundation, which is the 501c3 adjunct to the Rotary International Group, and that is the charitable organization. 501c3 is a charitable non-for-profit, so any contributions can be written off as a charitable contribution. They have 6 basic avenues of service and causes that they promote. One is to promote peace. They fight disease. They want to help in growing local economies, saving mothers and children, supporting education, and providing clean water and sanitation and hygiene all around the world. And they do this by accumulating contributions, including those made toward becoming a Paul Harris Fellow. Now, the Paul Harris Fellow recognition started in 1957 to acknowledge individuals who contribute or have contributions made in their behalf of $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation of Rotary International. And Paul Harris Fellows include U.S. President Jimmy Carter, Russian President Boris Yeltsin, astronaut James Lovell, and Jonas Salk. And in 2006, the number of Paul Harris Fellows around the world reached the 1 million mark. And tonight we are very happy and proud to add 3 more to those ranks. So I would like to give the mic over to our President Karen, and she's going to introduce some.
Well, I'm going to do the first one here. I wanted to have this pin last week and I didn't have it. When I thank somebody that's been so instrumental in this club, hasn't been a member of this club for a long, long time, but he has sponsored so many members and brought so many people into our club. I thanked him last week. He's our current assistant governor, and he will be district governor 2019-2020. He's the reason why this club is so great. He's made my year so easy. He's brought us together with so many other Rotary clubs in the area to really help us make a big Rotary footprint and do it. So we have topped off the points that you had originally. This is Paul Harris number 4 for Ray Ward. This young man has single-handedly, I think, along with Mr. White, held the Interact Club together this year. Every time you ask Ian Newton, who can come up here now, to do something, he always says, I can do that. I can make that happen. So anyway, Ian really exemplifies service above self, and I hope Rotary's in your future, whatever your future may hold. So his first pin, this is your official certificate. Congratulations. Really nice. And Pete Schroeder has
For those of you who don't know, on the certificates that are given out to the Paul Harris recipients, it says, in appreciation of tangible and significant assistance given for the furtherance of better understanding and friendly relations among peoples of the world. And this refers, of course, not just to the globe, but across neighborhoods, communities, organizations, and things like that. So I'm very happy and excited to present this award to someone who has appreciated her opportunities to help in the community in so many ways and associated with our club in so many ways. So what you do for your students and your community, tonight you are becoming a Paul Harris Fellow. Miss A, would you come up here please? Miss A, that would be Jenny and Eric. This young lady is so wonderful for her community, her students. Right, students?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, students? Yeah. Okay. She is in charge and organizes and leads the Academic team, the academic decathlon team for Bella Vista, who is perennially in the top of the state. This year they were 12th in the entire state. And if they were ranked nationally, they would have been 6th in the country. So that's great. And she also stepped up and led our Career Day enterprise 4 years ago when we initiated it with the help of Peggy Haskins, who's here tonight, the Bella Vista principal, who's been wonderful with our club. And so between Career Day and the academic decathlon team, she deserves it. Congratulations.
I'll start. It's really great to see all the Bella Vista students and teachers and past teachers and administrators here. Bella Vista has always been near and dear to the Rotary's heart. I think Bella Vista started in the early 60s, and our longtime secretary here was the first principal at Bella Vista, George White, and he was an institution here for many years. We started, and actually, long before we started our Interact Club in 1992, I believe it was, we had a lot of relationship with Bella Vista. We had exchange students, we had awards to students, but starting with the death of our good Rotarian Bill McPhail in September of 1990, he had been the owner of Grad Night Tours, and he would arrange graduation tours for students at BV. And he passed away, but before he was trying to set up with Dan Greenwald, instructor and coach at BV, an Interact Club. So that was the year Howard Papworth here, the unfortunate not winner of the pot tonight. Howard was president of our Rotary Club, and we resolved that we would get that Interact Club started. So it got started. Dan Greenwald was the initial advisor there, and over the years our relationship with BV has just grown and grown. We've had many, many RYE students. We send a couple students every year to the RYLA, the Rotary Youth, I can't recall exactly what it is, Leadership Awards. And often those students go on to be our Interact Club advisors. I mean, our Interact Club officers, which I think is the case this year. But anyway, we've had a long relationship with the club. Dan Greenwald was the first advisor with Interact. And then when Dan retired from Bella Vista, he conned John White into taking on the role. And John's been doing that for at least 16 years, John. And it's an incredible job that John does. I'm so indebted to him, and the school should be too, because He's just an incredible advisor. He stepped up and mentored students, and when we need students to help out at the crab feed, or the Historical Society needs help with their soup night, John always rounds up the kids. Some years they're not Interact. Some years we've had good years and bad years, but John always manages to round up those kids. So about a year from now, I think John is retiring, and we're going to miss him enormously. John started back in the late 90s, was it? As a student teacher at BB, and he taught a while there, and then he went somewhere else for a little bit, and then he came back to BB, where he's a teacher of U.S. government. Mike Erickson was the teacher for U.S. history. I have a hard time keeping those straight. But these two, Mike Erickson and John, were very respected by my kids. They went off to college and they said, geez, the classes at BB were better than they are at Davis or at La Jolla. So it speaks well for Bella Vista and their staff. So John will be leaving, I guess, at the end of next year. Plans to retire. His wife is already retired, and she couldn't make it here tonight. We're sorry for that. But we want to honor John tonight for all that he's done for us. I'm going to let Pete take over from here.
Thanks, Ralph. So, John, would you please stand up here? I want everyone to give an unbelievable, record-setting round of applause to this man. We all have a huge set of gratitude. Huge. We're going to ask you to stand up. John, we're going to ask you to stand up a little bit. All right, we're going to get back to John in a second. But first of all, I want to take this time to acknowledge a wonderful, wonderful team that we had the pleasure of helping in a small way. Our club did. And this is the academic decathlon team this year for Bella Vista. I'm going to announce their names, and as each person stands up, I want you to hold your applause until all 8 of them are standing. Vincent Plum. Fam. That's what I meant, Fam. Thank you, Vincent. We'll check that later, who sent me that memo. Elaine Carlson. Cassidy Johnson. Bobby Monroe. China Ross. Alexander Goldman. Jack Lenny is right here. Ullery, that's what I said. Wyatt Saltez is not here. And then Johnny Escobar. So stay standing. And I want all of the parents, friends, and relatives who are here tonight in attendance to these great kids to please stand up. All the parents, relatives, and friends. Now, let's hear it for the academic team and their parents. They did just a great job. And thank you all very much for coming here tonight. Thank you very much for being here, parents. You know, it's a great thing to have such a community with traditions like this, and Academic at Bella Vista is a tradition, so thank you very much. Please be seated. Now, Ralph, you're going to come back up here. Ralph's got a little something for John.
Yeah, in appreciation for all the things John has done, we had hoped your wife would be here so you could share in this little gift we have for you. Karen, would you?
Yeah, the board decided that we've already given you Paul Harris, and I believe Ralph, share that.
Well, let me, I think John already knows, but in honor of this year's Interact Advisor, we took the previous award we had, which was the Dan Greenwald Award for Interact students, and we made it now the Dan Greenwald John White Award. And That is for Interact leadership, yes. We have another Interact Club award called the Bill McPhail Interact Service Award. And that is our other big one that we increased to $1,500 this year, each of those. So I'd like to present to you, and I wanted you to tell them what it is.
We decided, since all these years you drive from Auburn on Saturday morning to help us pick up trash on Madison Avenue, and we've had so much fun together. Kathy and Dan Smallhouse suffered and went out to the wine country, and we got you a nice big weekend away, a bed and breakfast and in Amador County, and dinner at Taste of Fair Oaks. All right? Better than a pop.
John got quite a summer ahead. He's already planning to go back to Minnesota to visit family there, and then on up to Lopez Island off of Seattle there. So this will add to your joyous summer. I didn't mention either that besides being our Interact advisor and a U.S. government teacher, he also coaches JV and varsity girls basketball. You used to. Well, that's good enough for me. And move forward. Thank you. Okay. Well, on May 25th, Bella Vista, and our club, it started with Bill McPhail's passing. We created our second, third, and fourth awards at Bella Vista, the William R. McPhail Award, and two unsung heroes, because Bill had always felt that students that worked behind the scenes but didn't get a lot of credit, you know, should get an award too. So this year we increased those awards for the two Interact ones to $1,500, as I said. And we wanted to present them at the club tonight. We'll represent them where we have 5 awards at Bella Vista. Besides these two $1,500 awards, we have 3 more $1,000 awards. That comes out of our Fair Oaks Rotary Foundation. But tonight we'd like to honor 2 of the Interact students that deserve some awards. And we got their checks. We're going to let you hold the certificate for a while. You can keep the check, but we're going to represent the certificates at Bella Vista's award night. So first of all, I have here what we call the William R. McPhail Interact Service Award. And that was to Ian Newton. Ian has really held the Interact Club together this year. He's provided us all with the help that we've needed for our various projects. He's a student, what do you call it, a teaching assistant for Dawn. And he's really stepped up to the plate for Interact and kept things together. So I thank you very much for that. You can look at that and show it around and then give it back to us. We'll see you on the 25th to give it again. We really we hustled today, Karen and I and Bruce, because I thought it was going to be an easy job to print the certificates, and the gremlins were in everything to do with my computers today, but thanks to Karen we finally got these done. So the second one here is the new Dan Greenwald, John White Interact Leadership Award, and that goes to Hannah Azimi. Is that how I pronounce that? We have 2 hands, not 3. And most importantly, here is the check of $1,500. And I hope that goes. This is not working, is it? I've been cut off before, but I hope that goes a ways to helping with your future education. Thank you.